This coming Monday night, the Norwood Planning Board will be meeting with several items on their agenda. One item, a major project special permit at 596 Boston Providence Highway, has residents concerned about the future of their neighborhood. Erin Crowley has more.
Monday night, the Planning Board will focus on this strip of land behind me. Director of Community Development and Economic Planning, Paul Halkiotis, explains.
So the Planning Board has a full agenda on Monday evening, June 6th. One of the continued public hearings is regarding a piece of property at 259 Neponset Street. It abuts Route 1 and the on-ramp from the circle above Route 1 going down onto Route 1. The Planning Board approved 2 years ago a site plan approval for an enterprise rent-a-car business at the old Cap World site. And subsequent to that, the owner came back to the Planning Board and requested a major project special permit to construct a total of 205 parking spaces. Some of those spaces belong to the enterprise rent-a-car project, and these would be an additional 164 parking spaces on 1.83 acres, which directly abut that on-ramp to Route 1. The proposal is for enterprise rent-a-car business to sell cars in their fleet that they no longer need. And that area that is being proposed for open lot storage of vehicles, they're proposing to use that as a yard for selling their vehicles in their fleet that they'd like to get rid of. We've had public hearings starting back in February, and we've had, I think, 3 or maybe 4 public hearings on this. The folks that live in the neighborhood that abut this property, this would be in their backyards, are very upset over the proposal. We've done our best, the Planning Board and the engineer representing the property owner, to try to mitigate the impacts associated with that parking lot. Those mitigation measures include increasing the setback between that development and their properties, an 8-foot high fence, and a landscape buffer.
Residents and direct abutters to the proposed special permit, Eve Hogan and Gail Ladani, have been very outspoken against the proposed lot.
We then, after we found out, we went back and found the documents given to town meeting about this proposal for the rezoning, and it does not mention the woods. It does not mention our neighborhood, and in fact, it basically, touts all the benefits that would be from the rezoning, and they're the exact opposite of what is going to occur if these woods are destroyed. So, for example, the town meeting members were told this is going to improve the town, protect the environment, improve the green space in Norwood, expand our tree canopy, and move car lots, open vehicle storage lots, away from residential neighborhoods. So this rezoning was presented to town meeting members as a great benefit, totally innocuous. This is to, reduce the impacts of climate change. It's basically to move the car storage lots away from everybody and put them on Route 1, and that means that we'll have green space everywhere else. And so when we speak to town meeting members, it's not only the case that they had no idea, it's also that, this was completely different from what they intended and thought they were passing. And a lot of town meeting members, now that we're talking to them, are saying, did this even come before us? We don't even recognize it from what you're saying versus what we were told. They didn't even think that they voted on it because it was so different.
Although the Planning Board is set to discuss the special permit at their upcoming meeting, there are some outstanding issues that are yet to be resolved.
The project is more complicated because it has an Algonquin gas main running through the property. And the owner has been asked to get a letter, an authorization letter from Algonquin Gas to the Planning Board indicating that they approve of the construction of the parking lot above this gas main. This letter was promised months ago, and we're still waiting for it. And so that has further complicated the project. There's a piece of town-owned property, old tax title land, that also abuts the residential neighborhood and this piece of commercial property. And the zoning requires that they construct this 8-foot high fence separating the Boston Providence Highway District from the residential district. But that piece of town property, no fence has been proposed there, or there hasn't been any discussions about whether or not the Board of Selectmen would approve a fence to help to create that buffer. So those are some of the outstanding issues that we're working on. The engineering issues associated with the construction of the parking lot and the parking lot lighting have all been resolved. The town engineer has no further technical issues with the project, but there are outstanding issues with the gas main authorization letter, providing that continuing fence across the town property, and the gas main is within an easement. And as I understand it, the applicant's engineer is trying to get the gas company to allow a gated fence through that easement, so that would help to create that continuous fence separating the residential from the commercial development.
The Planning Board will make a decision on the special permit at their meeting Monday night at the Senior Center. The meeting starts at 7 p.m. For Norwood Community Media, I'm Erin Crowley.